Stop. You're going to want to hear this if you're struggling with cravings or triggers. They go hand in hand. Now, I'm going to share a little story with you as I was going for a mountain bike ride and I actually stopped at this gas station and go grab like a water. And I seen one of my favorite drinks that I used to drink, which was a black fly. And I was like, oh man. But what I did in this moment was I stopped, took a breath, and I realized, oh, that was like a huge like a moment of like a trigger, right? And what I did was I put music back in, and then I went for my mountain bike ride, and then I just kind of like erased it out of my memory. And I was like, I don't want to go back into that old patterns. And then I also reminded myself that I didn't want to go back into the old patterns or that lifestyle because I started to like play that picture back in my mind. I'm like, oh, I don't want to go back. And don't get me wrong, when I seen that, it was really triggering, and it did bring up like the craving emotion as well. And so if you are struggling with cravings and what have you, the biggest thing is what I want to ask you to do is just take a stop, breathe, and feel the emotion and understand why you're feeling that way. Now, I know when people have high anxiety, we usually will drink to bury the anxiety. And when we drink to bury the anxiety, you wake up the next morning and the anxiety is still there. And that's why most people struggle with addiction, because they're not letting the emotion, and they're not properly processing that emotion of how they feel or what situation that they're in. And when you do that, then you basically just repeat the same cycle. And that's basically like the definition of insanity, right? Expecting different results. So the biggest thing is if you are struggling with cravings and what have you, always take a moment, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way, and how can I overcome this? Now, to overcome it, find something that you truly love doing. Now, if you love cooking, riding a bike, doing stuff, activities, or even just stop, meditate, pray, do some push-ups. That's another one I like to do when I'm at home alone, is I just do 20 push-ups. I'm like, man, I'm having a massive craving. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do 20 push-ups because then I better myself. And then after I'm done the 20 push-ups or 40 or whatever it is, after I'm done that session, I'm like, oh, it just kind of goes away. And now also another thing with cravings and triggers and what have you is the longer you're in sobriety, those cravings basically start to deplete a bit. And don't get me wrong, they'll come back up because I also relapsed when I had 2 years of recovery, right? So don't get me wrong, they will come back up and creep on you, but the longer you're in sobriety and the more that you do this healing journey and processing your emotions and just knowing your boundaries and setting boundaries and doing all this inner work and healing work, it becomes a lot easier, and those triggers and cravings start to dissipate quite a bit. And now, don't get me wrong, there's going to be times that something pops up, just like, for example, like my mountain bike ride where there is a black fly can. And that's where the ultimate test comes in. Like, are you going to like take a moment and do all the healing process that you got to learn? Because when you learn how to like properly heal from the anxious or the anxiety or any emotion that comes up, when you properly heal from that, you're going to be like, no, I'm good. And then you're just going to carry on with your day. And that's one of the biggest things. And I hopefully that helps anyone that is struggling with cravings and triggers, because they go hand in hand. And just remember to be easy on yourself, be patient, and it's just one day at a time. And I know it's a very hard process to go through this journey, because if it was easy, everyone would be sober and clean, because ultimately it is the best feeling in the world. I have no hangovers. I feel amazing every day. Even when it's not a great day, I still feel good about myself because I get to go look in the mirror and I just feel proud of myself. And I know with all the hard work and just getting to the place where I'm at now, it truly is a blessing. And once you get to that moment in your life, in your healing journey, you'll like find out that it's just such a blessing to get to that peak moment, because now you're thinking to yourself, I never want to go back to that lifestyle. That lifestyle was not great. I felt terrible. I woke up and I still had the anxiety and these emotions and never was able to fully process it. And now that you are in early recovery or recovery, you're able to process these emotions in the proper and healthy way, which makes recovery so much better and so much easier. And then the more you do it and the more practice you put into it, it's just like learning something, right? The more you do it and the more repetitions you do it, the easier it becomes and the stronger you become. But don't get me wrong, the devil is out there working out as well. So the more you put in, just remember that there is going to be something that will trigger you and what have you. And you just got to learn how to process it and put all that inner work that you got to learn and become the best version, and to say no, right? And once you're able to do that, I hope you will be super successful. And if you do fall down, don't worry. that recovery time that you had, if you had a small relapse or lapse, or you had a drink or what have you, don't beat yourself up either, because that will make your journey super hard as well. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Much love, and let me know in the comments what your thoughts are, or let me know what your triggers are. I'd love to hear from you. Much love.